Grand Raw Rising, kings and queens. Grab your coffee or your tea and enjoy some sacred healing space for all ages and reflections that are welcomed. No matter if you're at work, watching the kiddos at home, or even driving on the road, Rising with Ra is a beautiful sacred space to learn about the chakras as well as receive our collective card reading for the day. Along with this, we will have beautiful guests and members of the tribe come on to share their gifts, their practices, knowledge, and wisdom as we self-empower and become aware of who we are as we go forth by day.
Walking like an Egyptian. Walking like an Egyptian. Walking like an Egyptian. Walking like an Egyptian.
A rebel who went searching for treasures in his soul, fishing for gold. I found a key to unlock the door to my mind's gate, hidden with some hieroglyphs. Told me about my future and my past, and that I should get. So I work it and get up off my ass. I'm on the path to move the masses to spiritual tactics. So masters, you bastards, spread it through classes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Crystal Light. On this episode of Rising with Ra, we kick off our week on this Monday using the Alchemical Divination Book of Doors deck, which is ancient Egyptian or Kemetic based, and we get visited by a very popular being of the Egyptian pantheon, and that is the Divine Father, Divine Masculine Principle, Osiris. Osiris then draws us into exploring one of my favorite books that I have, my Shamanic Egyptian Astrology book, as we connect Osiris with astrology and the planet Pluto. For anybody that knows Pluto, this is the shadows transformation. And then we tie this in with our chakra of the day, the Crown Chakra. And as we learn about the Crown Chakra, I then demonstrate and wrap up our space with a selenite crystal guided Crown Chakra healing practice. Enjoy the episode. Feel free to leave your feedback or anything that you'd like to reflect upon or that you got downloaded during this video. If you are someone that would like to be a guest on Rising with Ra, you may direct message me, Marcus Crystallite, to set up an episode. I'll share. Allow yourself to flow. Dance a little bit, move with the beat. Wow. What a grand rising it is here in this Rising with Ra space. And I want to welcome each and every one of you beautiful souls to this Rising with Ra here on Monday to kick off our week. And my question to you is, how are we today? If we haven't yet, may we check in with ourselves. May we check in with our mind, check in with our emotions, and check in with our physical body. And just take a moment, tap in and tune in, and feel how you are on all these levels of your being. Repeat after me. I affirm that this space is sacred, sealed, and filled with pure rainbow love, regenerating, rejuvenating, soothing my being. Ashe. I affirm that this space is sacred, sealed, and filled with pure rainbow love, regenerating, soothing my being. Ashe. I affirm And I'd like to remind us all of hydration, making sure that we are consuming clean water throughout our day to help replenish as well as bring fluid to our being and our body so it can function properly, as well as move through and clear energies. So once again, welcome everybody to Rising with Ra here on this Monday, and I am your host of the space, Marcus Crystal Light, and today we are going to be diving into the chakra of the day, which is going to be the Crown Chakra. A little bit later on, we'll go into detail about the Crown Chakra. We will talk about the characteristics, its resonant frequency, the color, as well as how to identify blockages and overactivations in the Crown Chakra. And then I'll also supply you with some wonderful conscious tools and practices that may be utilized in your daily practices to help maintain and balance your Crown Chakra. But before we go into our chakra of the day and do our holistic energy practice to help balance our chakra, I am going to be doing our collective card reading for the day as well. And our collective card reading, I will be reading from the Book of Doors divination deck. And this is a alchemical, ancient Kemetic or ancient Egyptian oracle deck. And it's got the original Egyptian names, or Kemetic names as we call it. And yeah, this is a very special deck. It holds very, very beautiful value to me when it comes to my soul and my soul journey. And I'm sure a lot of us that are deeply connected to Egypt or Kemet could find great resonance in this deck as well. And I also want to refresh us on any reminders of upcoming events and activities that are taking place. And I just want to remind everybody that I have my Crystal Healing 101 classes coming up next month. And it's going to be a 5-part series, so 5 classes. They're going to be online, held via Zoom, and each class is $33, or you can buy all 5 for $144. This is USD, of course. And if you have any questions regarding the information, the layout, what each class is going to be about, you guys can actually just take a look at my page here on Instagram, Sacred Light 33, and I have it pinned at the top of my page, Crystal Healing 101 with Crystal Light. And you can just tap in to that post. I have images laid out for you that describe the whole thing, and you can also just read the description as well, which also lays everything out for you. So this is going to be coming up next month, and the first one will be on the 5th of November. And I also just want to let people know that if you're not able to make the live Zoom events for the classes, and you still want to receive the information, or you want to be a part of the classes, you can still receive the recording of the class. So that is an option that I just want to lay out there for you. If you can't make the classes on the dates, you can still receive the recording, and you can still pay for the classes and receive all the information that would have been displayed during the live Zoom. And on top of that, you'll have it in your own space, and you'll be able to take your time, take notes, pause, rewind, anything that you would like to for any amount of time moving forward. So that is coming up, Crystal Healing 101. Just direct message me if you have any questions, or you would like to reserve your tickets today so you can be a part of the classes or receive the recordings. And also, if you're local here in Ohio, or you're someone that doesn't mind traveling and would like to travel out to Ohio to connect with conscious community, or myself, there is a festival coming up on the 28th, and it's called Eagle and Condor Fest, and it's hosted by a good brother of mine. His name is Kevin, and he is a very grounded, very deeply rooted spiritual brother that is all about sobriety, as well as honoring of sexuality and sacred energy. And he is going to be hosting this festival also with indigenous native elders and other community. So you guys can check that out. It's Eagle and Condor Fest. It's on the 28th of this month, and it's going to be in Mount Orb, Ohio. And if you have any questions regarding that as well, you can also message me. So those are my announcements that I have for upcoming events and other things that you guys can be a part of when it comes to my energy and what I'm serving. And of course, you guys can always contact me for any of my one-on-one services. All right, so time for our collective card reading. Yeah, like I was saying, if you guys have any questions about these events or festivals, just contact me. I'll give you the information you need. And it's going to be very beautiful sacred spaces, you know, sobriety, no sexuality being exposed in inappropriate ways, no nudity. It's going to be family oriented, and it's going to be beautiful, pure, holistic energy healing, or, you know, holistic crafting, or artists, things of that nature. So our collective card reading, I just do a single card, and I do a general, most high, most whole message for the collective. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nice. Okay. The king. The king has arrived. Wow, that's awesome. Okay. So, our card of the day from this beautiful Egyptian deck is going to be the king. The great divine masculine figure of life. Osiris. Mr. Green Man. Mr. Orion. Osiris is our collective card guide of the day. How beautiful. Good old Osiris. So, a little bit about Osiris, if we're not too familiar, is Osiris is a representation of the Divine Father, or a Divine Masculine. It's also a representation of Pluto. Pluto in astrology, Pluto represents transformation. It also represents going through the underworld. going through our deepest shadows and deepest parts of ourselves to be able to be rebirthed. And this is also what Osiris represents, which is Pluto in astrology. If you go to Egyptian astrology, which, matter of fact, I actually have my Shamanic Egyptian astrology book, which I'll go ahead and grab for us right now and read a little bit about Osiris to you guys from the Egyptian astrology book. So, this is Shamanic Egyptian astrology, and it is by Linda Starwolf and Ruby Falconer. So these are two very native-rooted sisters, and they have actually studied and went through the original astrology teachings. The original astrology teachings of Egypt. So then what she does is she correlates the Egyptian pantheon with modern astrology, Western astrology, to then give us the awareness on how to be able to see things through the scope and perspective of, the Egyptian or the Kemetic way of looking at astrology. So this is really good and helpful if you're someone that's familiar with, the Egyptian pantheon, and you understand their characteristics and their aspects and what they carry. This is very wonderful to help understand astrology. Alright, so yes, page 69, chapter 12, as our sister Energy Soul Child has pointed out. Osiris represents the planet Pluto. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit here. There is quite a bit. Okay. As we begin, the great god Osiris is at the heart of shamanic Egyptian astrology, for it is he who guides us onto the path of wholeness. Osiris represents the essential duality found upon this earth. The the immutability of the ever-present dance of death and rebirth. Send out an invite to any of your brothers and sisters that could want to learn this information today regarding Osiris, Shamanic Egyptian astrology, and the Crown Chakra. Please send out that invite to any of your brothers and sisters. As we know, Osiris was the great king of Lower Egypt, who was killed by his brother Set. Out of the subsequent union between the resurrected Osiris and his wife, Isis, was born the new god Horus. The strength and power of the king was passed to his son. The ancient story of Osiris influenced many subsequent myths. There are echoes of the Persephone myth in his story, with Isis cast as Demeter and Osiris as the lost Persephone. We hear the story of the Green Man, Orion, in the aspect of this tale that deals with regeneration. In Western astrology, Pluto, also known as Hades to the Greeks, is the great lord of the underworld. Unlike the Egyptian world of the dead, Pluto's world was a dark and dreary place. Pluto's world was the land of the shadows. It was beneath the earth. There was no light, no hope, and nowhere else to go. It was a land to be feared, an apt reflection of the fear humans have of death. Modern astrology, understanding that there is no life without death, have changed Pluto's astrological interpretation to reflect not just death, but rebirth. An adept example of Pluto's transformative power is the destruction of a building, so as to make way for the construction of a new one. Powerful forces are required to bring down a building. A wrecking ball, perhaps dynamite, must be used. Pluto represents the explosion that brings down the building. It is an interesting synchronicity that Pluto's name is found in the element plutonium, a key ingredient to the creation of the atomic bomb. From this disconnection came a fear of death, and thereby a great resistance to change. Another aspect of the patriarchal age is the imbalance between the masculine and feminine forces on the planet. Power moved to the masculine side of the equation, and the feminine become disempowered and sometimes victimized. The primary myth of Pluto is that of the perpetrator of Persephone. Persephone was a beautiful maiden, daughter of Demeter, who was out one morning collecting flowers. It was a beautiful spring day, as it always was, for there was no season upon the earth. The power of the archetypal story cannot be underestimated. Virtually every person alive relates in some way to the victimization of the feminine as told in this story. In many places upon the earth, this sort of active victimization of the feminine by the patriarchal masculine still takes place. The myth lives in the cells of the body of all people now upon our planet, and for some, the story is actively acted out upon through their bodies. This memory of the victimization of the feminine by the patriarchal masculine and the generalized fear of change or death is at the core of the transformation we are moving towards. Across our world, women have opened to the memory of their inherent power, and men are hearing the call of the new masculine. What does it mean to be equal partners in the power in the world, not only with each other, but within ourselves? This is the essence of the shamanic, psycho-spiritual work being practiced by so many upon our planet. And it is this work that will equalize the masculine and feminine forces upon our planet. The equalizing of these dualistic polarities is necessary to save our planet. Osiris needs to be remembered within our psyches, not as the perpetrator who, through his actions, kidnaps and holds prisoner the feminine energies upon our planet, but as the ever-present symbol of the rebirth and the regeneration that comes from death. We must open willingly to the arms of Osiris. As we step open-heartedly into his embrace, we die to that which no longer serves us, and open to that which calls us to our next right step. We don't just do this once in our lives, or perhaps a few times at major crises and change, but over and over every single day, when we live a life of constant transformation and change, when we step off the cliff and fling ourselves into the abyss every single day, we are reborn over and over again. This is the message of Osiris, and this is the place he holds in our birth chart. The position of Osiris in our chart speaks to us how deeply we have been wounded. Not just in this lifetime, but in all lifetimes we carry within our psyche. How deeply do we carry the wounds of the past ages, and therefore how strongly do we fear and resist change? A visit from the great god Osiris through a transit of Pluto in our chart gives us the opportunity to heal these wounds. We all make this dual journey by descending into our own private underworld, our Hades. We liberate ourselves into finding our own version of immortality. We come to understand that all death is illusion. We rise above our wounds and come to trust this truth, not just with our minds, but in our bodies. Our earth walk parallels the walk of the gods through the celestial skies. We are gods upon the earth, co-creating within the archetypal forces of the Neteru. This is the great gift of Osiris, as he helps us to remember who we are. Beautiful. Beautiful reflection and reminders of the energy of the wonderful masculine figure Osiris. If you have any special messages or any type of connection that you would like to share regarding Osiris, feel free to put in the comments if you would like. Or if you're someone in the community that would like to hop on to reflect and talk about Osiris or the Crown Chakra today, feel free to hop on. You're more than welcome to join in on this live sacred community space. And all that I ask is just no drugs and alcohol and no misuse of sexual energy on these lives. But there's actually a ritual or a practice to call in Osiris if you'd like to connect with Osiris's energy today or another time. But what it says here is, go sit next to a body of water. Read either silently or out loud the invocation to Osiris. Empty your mind, breathe deeply, connect with your heart. Look into the water, stare down into the watery depths. Allow Osiris to bring you a message from your deep unconscious. If you're a swimmer, dive into the water, lie down deep under the water, and then come up back to the ground and lie next to the pool, pond, or lake. Feel the power of regeneration coursing through your body. If you are unable to go outside, immerse yourself in a bath and call upon Osiris to speak to you from the depths of your subconscious. You may also meditate upon a picture of water and imagine yourself deeply submerged, allowing yourself to go deep within your own consciousness. Stay there a while and then resurface, bringing with you some message from Osiris, the great god of the dead and rebirth. Journal about your experience. So that's a practice you can utilize if you would like. And then there's also an invocation, which I will go ahead and add these into the YouTube version. So I'll put the images of the invocation as well as the ritual, and I'll add it in on the YouTube version so you guys can check it out and read it and be a part of that if you would like to. So with Osiris being our guide through our card reading today, we are being encouraged to not only take time to reflect and go within and dive into our layers when it comes to our behaviors and our thoughts, our actions, and what we're attached to, along with a lot of other things that come with the shadow. And with this, though, we're being reminded that we have absolute full support from divine masculine and divine feminine energies of source. And it comes in many different forms and many different aspects. So remembering that we have support and that we're supported physically, metaphysically, and in a lot of other ways as well, is a really solid stability point for the mind to be able to relax and to also become more at ease and peace. And, the more we use our tools, the more we use our practices, the more we use our conscious mind to connect with our guides, crystals, whatever it may be, we can really start to feel the alleviation of the pressure, the stress, the anxiety of what we feel like we need to be doing or what we're taking on when it comes to reflecting and facing our own shadows in ourselves. And it's also a good reminder that when we're going through our times of shadow work, shadow integration, we're going through our trials and tribulations, and that we are going through those really triggering and tough times of uncertainty or not being sure on who you are or what it is that you're doing. Just remember that there's a purpose to it all. And within those moments, you're able to tap into that purpose. And something I like to do is I like to remind myself of how far I've come, as well as look at the things that I've been able to overcome, the things I've been able to move through that I thought I never would be able to. Those conscious reminders and time travels and to those experiences really give me a boost, so to say. A boost and a knowing that I'm capable and that I have moved through obstacles and challenges before, and I'm able to be who I am today, right now in this moment. So with that being said, anything that we are to face, anything that we are to go through when it comes to our own being and the all that we're connected with, we're always able to make something of it. And then we'll have the next moment after that to experience and make choices. So I'm going to go ahead and check out and see what the Oracle deck has to say when it comes to this card. Okay, so here in the Oracle Divination deck for Osiris, it says, death for resurrection, the necessity to let go of attachments, and mystical revelation. The necessity to let go of attachments. That's a very interesting one to talk about, letting go of attachments. Unconditional love and knowingness of truth and balance. Equals easier dissolving of attachments and cords. Now, it's not always simple or easy to remember that we're eternally connected, that we are not responsible for others, and attachments form quite easy, especially from experiences. All sorts of experiences along the spectrum in the contrast of life can develop attachment. Whether it's an attachment to something that had happened with somebody else, and then we start identifying that person with that experience, attachments of codependency, needing to feel validated, needing to feel like you're worthy or even alive and visible as a person. So much more. So what I'm hearing today is maybe take a little bit of time to have your own sacred space. Get into stillness and explore your psyche, explore your consciousness, as well as your subconsciousness. Along with this, maybe even reflect upon where you could be holding on to something. Whether it's regret, pain, fear. And bring those to the forefront. Acknowledge them. Some of us may have been acknowledging it recently throughout time, but have never taken the time to address it. And when we clear these cords, it is able to bring a energetic clearing when it comes to the connection and relationship that you have with another being. As energetic beings, our experiences and our exchanges, they end up staying in the cord of our energy that has been developed in the connection. With this being said, the energies can become stagnant and toxic, and they can continue to flow between the two beings unconsciously. So when we acknowledge this and we go into a cord clearing or energy clearing, the more detailed we are about what exactly we're releasing and what we're clearing, the more precise, the more detailed the universe will then correspond. And if you're someone that is curious on like cord clearings or wanting to clear attachments, it is something that I do offer through my services, whether it's through Reiki or it is through a guided meditation or a light language activation. These are all things that I can provide for you to help you with cord clearing, as well as doing shadow integration. Shadow integration, it's looking at your negative thought patterns, your limited beliefs, judgment, healthy communication, boundaries, things along that nature is going to contribute to shadow integration. So our card of the day is Osiris. These are death and rebirth, regeneration, facing our underworld, facing our deepest depths, so we can rise higher. Don't be surprised if you have past emotions rise, or if you find yourself in the potential of past behaviors or patterns coming back up. But try to remember that these are coming up for our conscious awareness, our conscious acknowledgement, and for us to have the opportunity to choose if we want to integrate it and learn and grow from it, or if we need to continue to create more lessons from it. It is up to you. Just remember, you are the sovereign one of your being. The ball is in your court. Are we going to choose to make excuses? Are we going to choose to contemplate? Or are we going to choose to know that we are the conscious co-creator of our life? Take accountability for our energy field and our reality, and know that in this moment right here, and in the moments to come that are present, we are able to make a choice on what we are vibrationally going to do. So that's our reading for today. We have Osiris, Pluto energy, flowing through the underworld, facing our shadows and depths for a death and rebirth and regeneration of our being. Hey, Grand Day, it is Marcus, Crystallite. I just wanted to announce to you with pleasure that I am going to be hosting and facilitating my first 2 flow shops in collaboration with the Reiki Center, Columbus, Ohio. Coming up on the 10th of October, I will be hosting a Sacred Light guided meditation space for a channeled meditation, along with going over 3 key ingredients I find important for meditation, getting to the basics and fundamentals of posture, the breath, as well as focusing the mind during meditation. This will be $33. And then next I'll also be hosting and facilitating a 12 chakra class, and that will be October 29th. And that will be from 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern at the Reiki Center. I will be going over each of the 12 chakras individually, going in depth about each of them. And then afterwards, I will be doing a guided meditation for all 12 chakras to help balance and activate the 12. This one will be $100, and you can find these both on the Reiki Center website. All you do is just go to the reikicenter.com, go to classes, and then type in the dates and click on them, and then you can buy your ticket ahead of time. Thank you all. Wholeness, balance, love. All right, so now we will go ahead and navigate into the second half of this Rising with Ra, which is going to be the Crown Chakra, our chakra of the day. So a little bit about the Crown Chakra for everybody out there. The Crown Chakra is located at the top of the head. And the Crown Chakra, its resonant color is violet purple. Sometimes it's also often connected to gold as well, but violet is definitely the main color that you typically see when it comes to the crown. The Hertz frequency for the crown chakra is 174 hertz. And 174 hertz, and this is actually a pretty awesome fun fact. 174 hertz can also work as a natural anesthetic or painkiller. It helps relieve pain physically and energetically, and it can also give the organs a sense of security and love, encouraging them to work optimally. So this is what 174 hertz does, which is the crown chakra frequency. Characteristics of the crown chakra. The crown chakra is your energy portal for your connection to the divine. So this is your connection to your higher self. It is your ability to receive light codes, downloads, as well as to send uploads to the collective cloud. The more activated and more balanced the crown chakra is, the more fluid and light this connection is with Source, or with our higher self, or with our divine light. And the more we are able to seamlessly receive downloads, receive guidance, receive messages from our angels and spirit guides. Along with this, the crown is one of the main portals and energy centers for releasing energy and transmuting, which is why it's violet, like the violet flame, which is the flame of transmutation. And along with this is also one of the main energy centers for receiving light, receiving regeneration, and rejuvenating energies. Just like the root chakra, and how the root chakra can help us obtain more inner peace and stability, the crown can also do the same, except in a more angelic and higher light. So instead of it being very grounding and very stabilizing in a lower density type of way, the crown is able to give you a more euphoric, pure, blissful peaceness with the angelic and higher dimensional energies. So when you have the root and the crown both balanced, you're getting both doses of that. You're getting that earthly stability and nurturing and peace. When the crown's open, you're getting that angelic, beautiful, euphoric guide and light. So ways that you can identify if your crown chakra is blocked or has blockages in the energy center. This can look like feeling lost when it comes to your direction or your purpose. It could be feeling like you do not have a sense of connection to your spirit or to spirituality or to your higher self or to God or Source, whatever it may be for you. It can also manifest in ways of feeling like you need to control everything due to having a lack of faith, a lack of aware connection to Source. So now ways that you can tell if it's overactive at the crown chakra. This can look like spiritual bypassing, being too far into the light on the polarity, to where you're rejecting darkness, you're delusionally separating yourself from your shadow. And another way of telling if you're overactive in the crown chakra is if you're overstimulated. You feel like you are in too big of an influx of spiritual energy, and that you're not able to feel grounded and to be able to really function in your physical reality. Sometimes this can look like a psychosis, or it can look like schizophrenia, where we're kind of in between higher dimensions and our physical realm. Now, the crown chakra, crystals that you can use for the crown chakra, you can use selenite, angelite, quartz, moldavite's a pretty good one, amethyst, sugarlight, lepidolite, celestite, these are all really good and beautiful stones, crystals that you can use for the crown chakra. Practices that you may utilize mudras, hand postures, conscious breath work, guided to the crown. You can do violet flame meditations. There are specific yoga poses that you can look up and research for the crown chakra. Guided meditations. Diving into spiritual practices or ways that help you feel connected spiritually are good ways of balancing the crown. And also acknowledging the wholeness of life, the balance between the polarities, is a great way of exploring and balancing the crown chakra. Alright, so that's a little bit about the crown chakra. And if you guys want to know more and you want to go deeper into the crown chakra and go deeper into your own personal connection and relationship with the crown chakra, you can always reach out to me and you can book a Chakra Empowerment 101 session where we go specifically over the chakra of your choice, go full detailed, in depth about the chakra to educate you, give you a full list of overactivations as well as blockages in that chakra. And then you get to journal and reflect on any activations, overactivations, or blockages in that chakra with myself in a sacred space. And then you'll also receive a guided meditation for that chakra as well. And that's my Chakra Empowerment 101 session space. Okay. So, if you kind of take a moment and tune in a little bit, tune into your own energy field, you may be able to feel right here above the head, almost like a very light cap of energy. And what that is that's your crown portal, that's your crown chakra right there. It's like a metaphysical energy feeling. It's not physical, but it feels subtly physical. So when you tap into that and you tune into that feeling, you're tapping into your crown chakra. And you can communicate telepathically. You can exchange connection with that chakra. So now that we have gone over our chakra of the day, which is the crown, it's now time for us to do our practice of the day for our chakra. And our practice today let's see. Okay. So our practice for today, to help balance and maintain our crown chakra, I want to remind us that these practices that I share in these Rising with Raws, that you guys are able to utilize them at any time, any day, in your own space as well. And today, for this connection with the crown chakra, we're going to do a brief visualization with the breath, and also we're going to connect with Osiris. And with this, we're going to connect to transformative, regenerative energies to help transmute with the violet flame. So if you'd like to go ahead and get comfortable, you consider lay down for this practice. Grab your crystals if you would like. Maybe burn some sage, Palo Santo. Maybe sip on some water beforehand. Alright, so now if you're going to be sitting down, just checking in with your posture, making sure that we have our spine and our back straight. Use a pillow or the edge of the bed if you need to, whatever it may be. And checking in with the shoulders, making sure we're relaxing the shoulders. And then checking in with the jaw and the fingers, making sure we're not clenching our teeth and that we're not balling our fist. Then if we're sitting, having our feet planted to the ground, soles on the ground, so we're magnetically connected to the earth. And then if we're laying down, having our legs straight, not crossed, so we're not crossing and blocking the flow of energy in and out of the soles of our feet. Now, for this practice, if you have a selenite, go ahead and grab your selenite crystal. And we're going to consciously swipe the energy of our crown chakra with our selenite. So all you have to do for this is just grab your selenite and then take it to the crown chakra. And then you don't have to touch yourself physically. You can hold it a couple inches in front of your physical body. And then at the crown, swipe down and forward as if you're swiping out energy, because you are swiping out energy. And what this does is, selenite is a very good cleanser and puller of energy. So it pulls out energy that is stuck, that is dense, and it absorbs it, clears it out of your space. So when you're swiping it, you may energetically feel the feeling of energy removing. You could potentially feel it in your gut, you could feel it throughout your body and your nerves. But if you just tune in and tap in, let go of expectations, you can feel the energy being shifted. So let's go ahead and swipe a few times the crown with the selenite. This is just going to help clear out some of the energy. And now let's go ahead and intertwine our conscious breath with each swipe. So as we're swiping out, let's exhale out with the breath. Breathe in as we're swiping back in. Breathe out as we're swiping out. And just continue to synchronize your breath with your swipes. And then if you would like to, you can set the selenite on top of the crown, so it may interact with your portal at the crown. And let's go ahead and close our eyes if you wish, or you can keep them open. Let's take some deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, expanding the stomach. Breathing out and releasing. Breathing in. And as you're breathing in, consciously guiding the breath all the way up to the crown and the selenite. And feeling the moment of that connection. And breathing out any blocks. And as we breathe, I'd like for us to visualize a purple flame, a violet flame, and this violet flame gets sent from above, from Osiris. And this violet flame of light begins to magnetize and draw to the crown. And it begins to uplift, pull and release any impure and unbalanced energies out of the crown. Continuing to breathe. As the violet flame transmutes our space, if there is anything that you're holding on to, any attachments, any experiences that have been weighing you down, polluting your mind, or unstabilizing your emotions and being, you may now consciously bring it forth and consciously affirm that you are letting it go, that you are letting it be released to the violet flame, that you no longer need to carry it, that it is not yours to hold, and to remember gratitude and love for the lessons, the reminders, remembering that we do not have to identify by our experiences, but to remember that they are temporary reflections. And we can let go of what no longer is serving us. Are you willing to allow yourself this grace? Are you willing to allow yourself to accept and bring forth change? Just think about the possibilities, the opportunities, and the light that can come with creating space and letting go. Putting in the effort to create new behaviors and patterns and habits that are supportive of you and who you are and what you are trying to manifest and become in this life. Just take a moment today, consciously sit and think about the effects that your actions have. Try not to judge them as good or bad, but just seeing the facts, seeing the outcomes, the probabilities, and which actions you want to continue to feed During this time, all that we are going through as a collective and individually, just remember it's one part of the process of the cycle that is leading to the next. This is not a destination. Our dark nights of the soul are not a destination. Our shadows are not a destination. It's ever changing. We are ever shaping these aspects of ourselves daily, continuous in every moment. Nothing is set for us besides multiple probabilities that we determine in this moment, in the present, to experience next, vibrationally. Just think about if your habits are serving you. Manashikiana Sukua Uayashana Kuaya Ikita Nukura Shikia Sukua Ikiana Sukua Maya Piata Ukiashikia. Violet flame, bringing loving transmutation to the crown. Now begins to leave its residue. For the rest of the day, this violet flame is available for you. Be able to access for transmutation and clearing and transforming of lessons and shadows into enlightenment and wisdom. So remember the wisdom that comes from integrating our lessons, our shadows, bringing more strength and empowerment within, as well as more truth and more balance of our wholeness. There's nothing to be afraid of but your own self. You are eternal, beyond the flesh. You always were, always am, and always will be. The more you integrate your lessons, the more you grow and change in accordance with your higher being, the more effect, the more of a ripple you cause in the collective consciousness, and that you quantumly shift our collective timeline. So if you ever have trouble seeing the bigger picture of why you should be integrating or moving through your shadows, or developing healthier patterns and habits, don't just think about your own self, but think about the collective and the connection that you have, the ancestral patterns, the generations before and to come. Think about the children that we have on this earth and what they are being brought into and inheriting. As we continue to breathe, the crown chakra balances. And now it's time to close down the crown to a perfect balance, to also protect and seal our energy fields with the violet flame. So we transmute any energies that come into our space that are not serving of purity and wholeness. And And when you're ready, returning back to your physical being. Being refreshed and rebirthed in this regenerative energy. You may feel your energy transmuting for a little bit of time from here on. This is a natural process of transformation. Just remember to do things that support you vibrationally, nutritionally. Hydrate yourself very well. And don't be afraid if you ever feel to go within yourself or you're feeling tired from the physical, to just lay down, play some meditation music, play a frequency. Just close your eyes and focus on breathing and just let go. Go within. Alright, so that does it for today's Rising with Ra. And if you're someone that is part of this beautiful Ra Rising community family and you would like to share your Zen space that you created at home or wherever you are when you tap into this Rising with Ra, if you would like to share your Zen space that you create in your personal space during this Rising with Ra, you can send in images or videos of the crystals, the altar, or anything else that you used in your Zen space during this Rising with Ra to be added into the full YouTube edition. So you can share your light, share your authenticity on how you like to be sacred in your space during these Rising with Ra's for the collective to be able to connect and reflect with. So just send in any images of your crystals, your altars, or whatever it is that you do for your sacred space during this episode, and I will add it into the YouTube edition that will be up later today. You guys can watch the replay of this episode here on Rising with Ra on my Instagram, sacredlight33, or you can watch the full YouTube edition later today on Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. Thank you all for tapping in. Thank you for being a part of this beautiful sacred community space, and I really look forward to Wednesday and Friday with all of you guys. As on Wednesday, we will explore our first chakra of the 12 chakras, which will be the Earth Star chakra. And that will be this Wednesday at 11:11 a.m. Eastern here on Instagram Live. Wishing you all a beautiful rest of your Monday and a wonderful start to your week. Just remember your foundation. Remember your routines, and remember as well the message of Osiris. Sometimes our darkest moments and our hardest struggles are for us to face our shadows and the depths of our own underworld, so that we may become more aware, more clear, and more empowered to rise up again with our shadows, with our darkness, integrated into our light to strengthen and boost who we truly are in this life. In the YouTube edition as well, you guys will see the images from the Egyptian shamanic astrology book for the ceremonial ritual and the invocation of Osiris that you can connect with. So tap in on the YouTube channel if you would like to see the invocation and the ritual ceremony that you may use to go into your subconscious with Osiris. Wholeness and balanced love. See you Wednesday.